Welcome to the Carpenter Shop. We're your hosts, Ricky and Krisha, and whether it's gardening or homesteading, woodworking or Christian living, current events or social media, we love talking about the things we enjoy. And it all revolves around the master carpenter and how he works and builds in all the parts of our lives. So join us for that and more each week right here on the Carpenter Shop. Thanks a lot for being here, everybody. Welcome to the Carpenter Shop. I'm Ricky.
And I'm Krisha, who's picking at him.
Yes, she's always picking at me. Picking. But it's good to be back here for episode 4. Episode 4. We're back here.
You sound a lot, Riley.
4. Papa Bear, Poppy Bear. Riley's our granddaughter, by the way. She's
2.
She's 2. And I'm Papa Bear. Krisha's Yaya. She's Riley's favorite right now. Yeah, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm trying my best to nip it in the bud, but not having a lot of success right now.
Actually, Jude is her favorite. I'm the fill-in when Jude's not here.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's true. Well, hey, thanks a lot for being back here with us. Hey, I want to tell you guys right off the bat. So up until now, we've done things in about an hour, a 50-minute to an hour format. That, it just feels long to me. It just feels a little long.
And he talks a lot.
And I do talk a lot. So I think we want to condense this thing down. So we're going to try to condense it down to about half that. So my goal is for us to be 30 minutes or less today. That's the plan.
So I get 15 minutes. Do I need to be timing?
I'm going to try my best to get down to 30 minutes or less.
Get going then.
All right. So, yeah, 30-minute or less format. Oh, we are, it is very exciting. Woohoo! Very exciting. We are on Apple Podcasts now, and that's something that I have been really, really excited about coming up. And so now it's not coming up anymore. Now it's here. Yay! Woohoo! Anyway, it's here. We're on Apple Podcasts. That's the big boys. So really excited to be on Apple Podcasts. So hey, go subscribe to us there. Tell your friends. Do all that. Do the thing there on Apple Podcasts. We really are excited to be there. And I could see the first day that we were on Apple Podcasts, I could see our numbers skewed incredibly towards the Apple side of things. They represent such a huge portion of the podcast market. So anyway, it's good to be in there. A little update on the Seed Sauna. In case you're not familiar with the Seed Sauna, Jude and I started a little mini greenhouse with a plastic storage tub, a clear plastic storage tub. And I was so excited. It's been about 2 weeks. We planted our collard and beet seeds, and I just figured this was going to be our $1 million idea, you know.
In theory, it should be. Should be a $1 million idea in theory.
It should be, but anyway, we apparently blew something because the seeds are just, they never did germinate. So
I told you.
Anyway, we're going to try it again. We're going to back up and punt. And
with new seeds or the same seeds that didn't do anything?
No, I think we're going to try the same seeds because I don't think it was the seeds. I think it was me. I think it was our technique. So we're going to try to modify our technique and see what happens. So more to come on that. So I'm pretty excited about that. I am. Speaking of being excited, I'm very excited about next week. Next week, we are going to have a guest call in. So we're going to have Ann with Learn and Grow. And
where are the applause for that? We should have played the applause for that part.
I should have done the applause. You're right. So we're going to have Ann with Learn and Grow, the Learn and Grow educational series, technically is what it is. So just so you'll know real quick, a little blurb about them. The Learn and Grow educational series was originally created in 2013 around food security education. Now, and I'll be honest, I didn't even know what that term meant until last night. And I won't get all into it now, but you will definitely be interested in hearing about this because they teach people how to grow their own fruits and vegetables at home using like these self-watering containers. I think they're called grow pots or something like that. And they're made from recycled and inexpensive materials and stuff like that. So it's a really, really cool concept. And frankly, the idea of food security here in the United States is a very, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't know much about it. Or I should say people who aren't in need of food, they know very little about this. But it is a tremendous problem, people not having enough food. For that reason alone, I love this idea. And I think we're going to have a great discussion next week with Ann. I'm really looking forward to her being here. So definitely spread the word. We'll post some stuff about it. And I'm excited about that coming up.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really cool. Okay, so it is time for In the News.
Oh, Lord.
In the News. I'm very excited about In the News. In the News is random stories that mean absolutely nothing to you. But we thought they were pretty noteworthy. So, anyway, we're just going to go over some of the cool news stories that I found for the week. All right? All right. With that, let's get right into it. First story of the day. In Idaho, and I thought this was really odd that this happened in Idaho, because this sounds like something that should have happened in Alabama. Anyway, in Idaho, a man broke the state. I'm seeing this now. Okay, he broke the state record with a 42-inch flathead catfish. Can you believe that? A 42-inch catfish, that is gigantic. However, I see now that it was a state record in Idaho. I don't know. I would assume this guy would be like in Alabama or something like that.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah. So anyway, it says here in the story, though, Idaho is home to several species of catfish, but flathead catfish are only found in the Snake River, which is up in that area. So anyway, I just, when I saw...
I was just thinking catfish, period.
Yeah, I was too. Yeah, so the story's not quite as impressive as I initially thought it was. When I first saw it, though, all I could think of was some guy, like, noodling, you know how they stick they stick their arm up in the bank there? You know, the idiots that stick their arm in there and lift. How do they do that?
Was this guy's name Jonah?
Bubba? No. I caught that catfish right there.
On a corn dog?
Yeah, caught him on a corn dog. All right, moving along. A website, a gambling website actually, is seeking a cheeseburger tester to find the top burger in the United States. This is legitimate.
What do the two have to do with one another?
I have absolutely no idea. But, let me just read you right here. So, bonusfinder.com, and we're not endorsing them, actually, but they're based in Amsterdam. This is getting weirder as I read it. They're seeking a cheeseburger taster to find the best burger in the United States by grading burgers on a variety of criteria. The winner will receive $500 as well as funds for travel and to purchase the cheeseburgers. And they're going to announce their selected winner on October the 9th. This sounds, for some reason, and they say that their title will be a professional cheeseburger tester.
And so these are restaurant burgers. These are not like, because how can you know if it's really the best cheeseburger? You've not had my cheeseburger.
I have no idea. So I would assume, yeah. Some kind of restaurant. I don't know if it's fast food or if it a steakhouse could enter their burger. I don't know. And I don't know why this website is interested in this information. Probably some let people gamble.
Instead of drinking, they're eating cheeseburgers.
Yeah, put down 50 on McDonald's. That's what I'll take.
No, I was just thinking instead of having AA, it would be Cheeseburgers Anonymous because you're sitting there doing slots and you're eating cheeseburgers.
Maybe. I see some guy calling up his bookie. Hey, Bobby, put me down on the Burger King, the Bacon King. Bacon King. That's what I want right there.
The
What's
Impossible
the line?
Whopper.
It's impossible. All right, moving on. One more. Last story. I thought this was the best. In Kentucky, which, okay, there we go, right there. In Kentucky, this makes me think of Teresa. Not the story, but just Kentucky in general.
Yeah.
So, all right.
There are good people there.
There are some good people in Kentucky. Hey, I don't mean that at all. There's some good people in
Why do you keep
Kentucky
talking like
right
that?
there. Well, it's my default redneck voice, I guess. And you will see as I read this story. In Kentucky, police stop a vehicle with a homemade license plate. Police in Kentucky said they conducted a traffic stop. They spotted something suspicious about the vehicle's license plate. It was homemade. When they noticed the license plate, which appeared to be genuine from a distance, was missing the registration sticker. These are some artists. I mean, they did it up right?
I have a question when you get done.
All right, go ahead, ask me.
I'm just thinking, were they previously incarcerated?
You think? A closer look revealed the license plate was completely hand-drawn on a plate-sized piece of paper.
There you go. Apple Valley branches out. We'll make your custom license plate.
Police said they also determined, and what a shock, that the driver's license was suspended and the vehicle was not insured. What a shock to the system that is. I mean, if your license plate is hand-drawn and homemade, you might be a redneck.
Bless him. What if he was trying to get to his job? He was just doing the best he could.
Yeah,
That's innovative. He could be the next, he could be the next Trump. He could be the next, who knows? That was innovative.
That was good.
He should get points for trying.
That was good. That could have taken place in any state in the South, and I would have completely believed it. I think that's fantastic. I wonder what the car looked like. I wonder what kind of car it was. I wonder if it was a...
I bet it was hauling pallets.
Hey, that's not funny.
That's pretty funny.
That's not funny. Maybe a little funny. All right. That is it for In the News. Da-ba-da-da-da-da.
We don't need this little app. You just keep doing all your own sound effects.
I think it's a very incredibly tremendous story.
Oh, wow.
As people, we have surrounding ourselves with the very incredible people talking. Oh, look at it. My sound effects just, whoop, it just started all by itself. All right, that's it for In the News, right? All right, it's time for us to do our scripture aha. And Krisha, you did it last week on the first couple of verses of the 23rd Psalm.
Yes.
And normally what we want to do is trade this off, but since we're in the 23rd Psalm, she's the boss. She's going to take it over from me. Take it from me. She's taking it. And she's taking it over from me, and so I'm just going to sit back like a good husband and let her have it. Okay.
So we did talk about the first couple of verses last week. So I'm going to read 3 and 4 this week. And this, again, is from the Amplified.
Verses 3 and 4.
Okay, Sean. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear or dread no evil. For you are with me. Your rod to protect me, your staff to guide me, they comfort me.
Is that the King James version you're reading right there?
I'm just saying this, the Amplified version. You're not listening. So again, this is from one of my devotions that I do in the mornings. And so these are really interesting. Again, pretty much everybody knows the 23rd Psalm. It's used a lot at funerals, so people are familiar with it. And again, anytime I can find something different about something I grew up learning about, it's an aha moment for me. So here
What's the 23rd Psalm got to do with a funeral?
I don't know, but they read
Specifically.
it. I don't know. Yea,
Yeah.
though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, we're not there yet.
Okay, I got you. I was just like, what is that?
Do you know this scripture? Do I need to get you to learn it?
I'm fixing to look it up because, frankly, I'm not sure if I can remember what you just read.
Squirrel. I don't even know now where I was going.
That's my gift.
Okay, so he leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Notice it didn't say for my name's sake. So he's leading me somewhere that he thinks I should go, that
That's
he
good.
knows is better for me than what I know,
Mm-hmm.
even though where he's leading me may be tough. He's still leading me somewhere. So, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear or dread no evil. You are with me, your rod and your staff comfort me. So I was reading through this, and basically it's saying the same thing. You don't know what's around the next corner. It could be something terribly drastic, and you get terrified and scared. You don't know what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, and this has happened to me many times, a lot of times, just when you had your heart attack 5 years ago, and I was with the kids by myself. I had no idea where I was going because they had life flighted you from one hospital to another. I didn't know exactly where I was going. I had children they were 6 and 9 at the time. I was all by myself. We're 3 hours away from home. And then all of a sudden, you feel someone squeeze your hand. You look up and see the shepherd walking beside you. All at once, you fear nothing. You dread nothing. He's got his rod to protect you, his staff to guide you, and you regain your courage. Your shoulders relax, your teeth unclench, your stomach slackens, and panic abates. And in that particular circumstance, I was scared. How do I explain this to my kids when I don't really know exactly what's going on? I don't know what's going to happen when I get to this other hospital. I don't know the doctor. I don't know what he looks like, where I'm at, where to go in the hospital to get to you, what's to be expected. Are you going to be okay? Are we going to be okay? I had no clue.
Ricky's flying. I'm driving. Have to deal with traffic.
And then the kids have to stop and pee. And I'm like, can you not hold it? So
I was just having a ball.
No, you weren't. You were terrified. I was scared. The kids were scared. They're crying.
They strapped me down in that helicopter, though. It was like going on the mind bender. I was strapped in that thing. We could have done loop-de-loops, and I wasn't going nowhere. I was in it.
Well, and it was a scary thing for both of us
it
for
was.
very different reasons.
It was.
But there were so many different things that you wouldn't think about, but God said, hey, you see that I did that? There was somebody there to give me directions that I could actually follow. I'm terrible with directions. Don't tell me to go north and south, east and west. I'll never get there. But this little man
Turn
said,
down there by Josephine's house down the dirt road.
Church's
Just a
chicken.
piece down there.
He said,
Just a ways.
if you see the church's chicken, it's going to be on the left. And I was like, okay. And the kids are like, what do we look
Church's
for?
chicken? What about Chick-fil-A?
I said, look for the church's chicken. So
That wasn't God talking to you. It'd have been a Chick-fil-A.
anyway, it was those kind of things. There was somebody there to give me direction. There was free parking and a parking spot out front. There were nurses getting off the elevator that stopped and said, hey, let me take you where you need to go. The doctor had already performed your procedure.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm trying to just make sure they don't cut my drawers off of me. I wanted to keep my shorts because those were some of my favorite shorts. They wanted to cut them off.
I'm glad that was your biggest concern.
Yeah, and my Margaritaville flip-flops,
I had them.
which I'm wearing actually right now, even still. These are some they have fantastic flip-flops.
I had them. So anyway, it was very scary. And then the doctor comes into the hospital waiting room, which was empty. It was just me and the kids. And I thought, okay, if he comes in smiling, it's a good sign. And what happened? He came in smiling. And it was just as if each of those times God was saying, I'm right here. I'm guiding you. You're not alone. And so there are many times in our lives we need to look at even the small things, someone giving direction or someone getting off an elevator, that is him guiding
And
us.
I'm going to add this at the tail end of this little segment. Then, we were talking today at church about something very similar, as coincidence would have it. We were talking about about wanting to please God, and I know for me personally, a lot of times I get really down and out because I might struggle with my self-esteem. So when it comes to grace, hey, I don't struggle with grace. I know that. I'm confident in that. I don't want to say I don't need God's grace. I don't need God's reminder of His grace. What I need, though, is His affection. That's what I struggle with every day. And so when we see stuff like this, like where He's saying, hey, He's leading me in the paths of righteousness, I won't fear any evil. He comforts me. This isn't a God of only order and structure, even though God is, and rules. This is a God who embraces His kids. This is a God who doesn't love us because He has to. He loves us because we're lovable. So, and I don't want to get into a whole theological thing. I understand God despises our sin, but it's comforting to know that He despises our sin, but He loves us. Yeah.
So real quick, this is my devotional book called Transformed by Donna K. Maltese. So these weren't all my words. These were some of the things she's written that made a difference for me.
That was good stuff. All right, and with that, now it's time for the Jihad. Jihad. Jihad is when Krisha and I will come up with some random subject, and then we're just going to sit here and jihad.
See if it works.
Yeah, we're just going to see what we can figure out about it. Okay, last week you picked the jihad. This week I'm picking it. Right? We kind of go back and forth. My subject this week is the national coin shortage. Oh, sorry. I was going to say the national coin shortage, but let me say the supposed national coin shortage. How's that? Okay. What do you think about this national coin shortage? Well, let me say this real quick. So I go in, and I understand there's a lot of things with the coin things going on right now. I go into the Dollar General the other day. Go in there, and there's a sign there that says you must pay with a card or exact change. And if you have to pay with cash and you need change back, your change will be donated to a charity. And I thought, it's one thing to say, these are the charities we support, why don't you pick one? But it's another thing to say, we're going to do it. It's your money, but we're keeping it and we're giving it. That was the way it came across to me.
We already have a charity. We have a bucket we put our own change in.
I know. Anyway, that rubbed me up, down, sideways, inside out the wrong way. I did not like it a lot at all. And so, what do you think about this? What do you think about this coin shortage? Its validity, its what's going on with it and all that. What do you think?
Okay, well, two things. When you were talking, this is what came to my mind was, if there's a coin shortage, why are vending machines still there and still take dollars and cents? Like at work, if I want to buy a Coke, I need to have $1.25 or $1.50. Or
exactly.
There are the gumball machines that are 25 cents. So if there's a shortage, how are and people use those to make a living. There's nothing wrong with that. But what's happening? That's my first thing. That's my first thought. What is the deal with that? And how are those still functionable?
And what about people who have to go to the bathroom in those places where you still have to put a coin in to get in the door?
Or people that shop at Aldi, and it takes a quarter to get a shopping cart.
That's right. Absolutely. Aldi. That's a good one. I didn't even think about that. Man, if we sat down and put a pin to it, there's probably a huge list of these places and they operate solely on, well, not solely, but very much so on coins. Frankly, I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. The whole idea that months later the mint is still playing catch up, and it's just, if they are, then they don't need to be in this business. So if you're in a business and and you can't figure it out 6 months later, you need to find another business, because there are businesses out there figuring this stuff out.
Well, and then my other thought was, what about the people that are on such a strict budget? So I'm thinking about people like, like Mama, if she was still alive, older people who may be living off Social Security and maybe very small retirement funds, and their budget is really, really tight. And that 72 cents may not be a lot to someone, but to them, it might be. They may
absolutely
need that money to make the ends meet. Or, what if I'm still waiting to be back full time at my job? So what about the people who right now are really suffering at the loss of wages,
Mm-hmm.
and they need every penny they can get?
I just don't buy it. And I tell you, so if anybody's listening and you have some, if you have some debate, if you have a different opinion, hey, that's perfectly fine. Let us know. Let us know what your opinion is. I think it's a bunch of malarkey, frankly. Now, what the reason is, I could get all conspiracy theory crazy, and I'll do that when you're trying to watch TV tonight.
At 10 o'clock,
yeah.
You'll want to tell me your... One more thing.
Yeah.
What about newspaper stands?
What about
They're
newspaper
$1,
stands?
but it takes 4 quarters to get one.
Yes, this it doesn't make sense. So your verdict, yes or no? Do you buy it? Do you not?
I don't really understand it. I can't really say one way or the other. I just
That's
don't
a good-
understand
that's
it.
a good answer,
Because
yeah.
if there's coins out there and it's being used to purchase goods with, what is happening to it?
That's a good point. I would, okay,
That
now
I
that you
don't
said
understand. I don't understand that, how there's a shortage if it's being circulated.
I'll go with you on that. I don't agree with it probably because I don't understand it. Okay, yeah, that's good. I like that. But hey, if you're listening and you have a difference of opinion or you want to add to this, definitely leave us a comment, send us a message, let us know what you think, and let's talk this thing out. And who knows, you may change my mind. You may change my mind.
Doubtful.
You never know. Pip pip cheerio.
What is that with your whole accents and all? You're wound up today.
I am.
What was in that guacamole you ate at lunch?
It's that top you're wearing.
Right.
Got me all flustered and out of whack.
It's a tent. Oh, Lord.
Me. All right, everybody, we are done. Wow, we did it. We did it in 30 minutes. I am so proud of us, especially me because I'm a rambler. But hey, thanks a lot for being here with us for this little half-hour show. Let us know if you like the new format or if you want us to go back to doing something longer. But we really appreciate you being here and spending some time with us. We pray God uses our time today to speak to you until we get together again. In the meanwhile, feel free to join us on and subscribe to our Apple Valley Farm YouTube channel. You can also learn more about us and more on each podcast on our blog at applevalleyfarmga.com. A huge thank you, as always, to our colleagues, our sponsors, and our faithful listener support team. We would love it if you can click the support button wherever you're listening, or if you don't see one, you can just find us out or find more about us. How did I say that? You can find out more about us at patreon.com/Apple Valley Farm. And with that,
We're done.
we are done. Thank you guys again. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time.
Happy trails.
Happy trails.
You got to get that music.
There's a lot of vibrato in the old one. That was terrible. Okay.
No, it's terrible.
All right.
Law.
All right, we'll have to see if we can pull up the music. That'll save us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.